Hello and welcome everyone to Selective Preparation Power Thinking Skills Test 51. In this video, we will be looking at 10 questions and have a look at the solutions that are associated. Let's begin. Okay, so this first question is a finding procedures question. Let's use our highlighters, highlight keywords. So Mr. Wu sets a test for his students and it's made up of 4 sections A, B, C, and D. All 4 sections had 10 questions. Each, and in section A they're worth 1 mark each, section B 2 marks, C 3 marks, and D 5 marks. So Mr. Wu has set the pass mark to be 60 out of 110. What is the difference between the smallest number of questions that can be correctly answered while passing the test and the total amount of questions? Okay, let's start with this bit here. Smallest number of questions that could be correctly answered by passing the test. So we want to get to a mark of 60, okay, with the smallest number of questions, which means that we want the questions that are worth the most marks, right, to have the smallest number of questions. And that is actually section D. Now, if I use all of section D questions to get those correct, then I'll have, let's just write section D, 10 questions, because we said that all the sections are 10 questions, and 5 marks, which is a total of 50 marks. We still need to get a remainder of 10 marks. And how do we do that? We bump up to the next level with section C, and it's worth 3 marks each. So we can't get exactly 10, but we can get over 10, or i.e. pass, by doing section C. We want at least it to be 10, it's actually 12 if I do 4 by 3. So actually, how many questions? Altogether, we have 14 questions just to pass. That's the smallest number of questions. What is the total number of questions? If all 4 sections had 10 questions, it's going to be 4 times 10, which is 40. So we have 14 minus 14, which gives you 26, or option B. Next question. Terence has to select activities to do after school next year. He must choose from each of the following lists. Now he knows he wants to do hockey, coding, and volunteering. Which of the following can he not choose in his final activity list? Okay, so we want to locate where these activities are. So we have coding here. And notice how coding is in none of the other ones. That means that coding must be on list 1, so that you can't choose anything else on list 1 except for coding. Okay, now that's a bit different from, let's say, hockey. Hockey is on list 2 and list 3. So if I chose hockey on list 2, for example, I could choose another activity from list 3. And that's also the same with volunteering. Okay, it's on 2 lists. So which of the following can he not choose in his final activity? The answer is B, soccer. Because list 1 is the only one that we have locked and loaded, right? We have locked because of the coding. And unfortunately, soccer is only in list 1, which means that he can't actually do soccer because he already decided on coding. Okay, logical reasoning. Let's highlight again. Film cameras use a special type of film that reacts if exposed to light. When the film is exposed to light, it turns the film dark depending on how much light there is and what objects are blocking the light, thus taking the photo. Lindsay has received a new film camera from her grandpa and is excited to take photos of a sunny day that she loads uncovered film into the camera outside. So what is the mistake? Now, remember it says here, it reacts, right? It's a special type of camera that reacts if exposed to light. And exposed means to be shown, okay? So it's shown light, it turns the film dark, and that's how you process the film. That's how it becomes images, okay? So if I did that already, and I uncovered the film with light outside, you've basically just processed it without having taken a photo yet, which is no good. Okay, so the answer is actually B. It's already been exposed to sunlight. It's going to turn the film completely dark, and that's the mistake. Okay, for I'm hiding in one of 3 rooms, I've written 2 statements, some are true and some are false, but no more than one statement on each door is false. Okay, so we have a couple statements here. What's the best idea with these ones is to pretend like one of the statements is false and then see if it works out. Okay, so for the first one, I'm going to pretend that I am tall is false. Okay, if I am tall is false, that means that the other one must be true, right? Because we can only have one false at max, at most, okay, in each room. Now we are in room 1, so if it says I'm in room 3 and that is shown to be true, then obviously this is not the right one, okay? Because if you're in room 1 and then you say you're in room 3, that is obviously false, and we want it to be true, or we need it to be true. So that means I am tall is actually the false remark. Oh, sorry, it's not the false remark, okay? It is the true remark. If I am tall is true, for example, okay, then I am in room 3 must be false, which is good because I'm room 1. And I'm in room 2 must also be false, which is good because room 3. And here, I'm in this room is true. And I'm short must be false because I am tall. And now everything works out because you don't have more than one false statement per room. So ultimately, I am actually tall and I am in room 2. So D is your answer. Number 5, flaws in reasoning. So after baking a pavlova, the oven door must be left ajar, so left open a little bit, so that the baked good can cool down slowly and maintain its bulbous shape, otherwise it will crack. So if you've seen pavlovas before, they're made out of meringue or egg whites and sugar, and they're kind of dome shaped like this. And if you don't leave the door open, okay, that's the oven door, if you don't leave it open for a good amount of time, then this will crack. Now Jamie's making a pavlova. Once it's done baking, she leaves the oven door open before leaving to walk her dog. Which of the following scenarios is likely to give the above information? So the answer is actually B. Okay, the reason being, she leaves the door open. Ajar means that you only leave it slightly open. Okay, so just leaving it open, it probably will be more prone to cracking because you've introduced the cold air way too quickly. So it's the exact same idea as if I was to take the pavlova and just chuck it onto the countertop, okay, after I finish it, because then it will be cracking because the temperature changes too quick. Same thing here. If you want to leave the oven door open, you are introducing that cold air very quickly, and therefore it will crack. Okay, 6, making inferences. So a pervasive odor overwhelmed her senses. If the prefix per means through and all over and completely, and the suffix sive means of, what does the word pervasive mean? So it means that it's going through, all over, and completely. Okay, so this smell has been going through, over, and completely, kind of spreading very widely. Okay, that's the idea. So A is the best answer here. And it's clearly an unpleasant thing because of the words we've used. Overwhelmed, okay, that's usually not a pleasant feeling. And odor is not a pleasant word. If you want it to be pleasant, you could say aroma or perfume, not odor. Odor is usually a negative connotated word. So A is the best answer here. Okay, 9. So we are given the following information. Let's write it down. We have Carl, Tim, Jake, Pete, and Joanna. J-A for Jake, Joe for Joe. They have 1 car each, either blue, green, or red. 3 cars are old, the rest are new. Only the new cars are green. Only Jake has a blue car. Okay, so we know Jake has a blue car, and it's got to be old because only the new cars are green. Okay, Carl and Joanna do not have old cars, which means Carl and Joanna, in fact, have green new cars. Green new cars. And that means that actually 3 cars are old, so Tim and Peter have old cars. Now, only Jake has the blue car, which means the other 2 must have the other color or the red car. Which of the following must be true? If you look at Pete, it has an old red car, or option A. Okay, which of the following statements cannot be concluded from the case study below? So we have 4 friends, Jesse, Jackie, Nick, and Terrence, and they're deciding the vehicle they want to buy. 4 different vehicles available. Each friend can only buy 1 vehicle, however, they can be the same as another friend's vehicle. Okay, so let's try and match up the person with the vehicle. We have Jesse, we have Jackie, we have Nikki, and Terrence. So we know that Nikki bought a van. Okay, so that one's done. And now Terrence bought something with a lot of storage space. So out of these ones, which one would that be? Terrence also bought the van. Okay. Jackie works very fast, so decides to buy the faster 2-wheeled vehicles. That's a motorcycle, so moto. And Jess bought a vehicle with 4 wheels, but it's different from Nikki, so she must have bought the car. Now we want to find a thing that cannot be concluded, not can. Okay, so let's go down. 2 friends bought a van. Yes, correct. So not that one. Jackie bought a motorbike. Yeah, he did. Jesse did not buy the pedal bike. Correct. And Terrence purchased a motorbike. That is actually incorrect. He purchased the van. Remember, these people can only buy 1 mode of transport for each person. So D is the answer here. Okay, and 9, let's highlight. So in the Australian cycling community, strong protests are being made for the government to introduce bike lanes on all main roads. What would strengthen the cycling community's protests? Now, if we prove that in fact we need bike lanes for important things like safety on main roads, then that would be a very good strengthener of their protests and their arguments against the law. And that's actually what A is. Okay, a bike lane has been proven to reduce cycling-related injuries by 70%. So the bike lanes link to the bike lanes that we're talking about, and we're talking about cycling-related injuries, which are important causes that people will be protesting for. So A is the best answer here. And the last question: extroverted people typically regain energy by being with other people and are very socially outgoing. Okay, extroverted people, very socially outgoing, regain energy, other people. Introverted people typically regain energy during their downtime when they're alone. Downtime just means time you have alone, usually in a comfortable space like home, and enjoy time spent with themselves. Josiah and Lucas are at a party. Josiah says, "How are you finding this experience, Lucas?" Lucas says, "It's a bit tiring, to be honest. I would have enjoyed playing a video game by myself at home more." Josiah says, "Ha ha ha, I know, right? I would rather be reading a book at the park." So first of all, this bit here, I know, right, suggests that Josiah and Lucas are very much on the same page, okay? So they're both introverts or both extroverts. Which one do you think they are? They're actually both introverts, right? They like their downtime, they like being alone, and they like spending time with themselves, which are activities that both of them mentioned. So the answer here is D. Okay, so every lesson we'll do 1 key point from the test. The key point from this one, let's talk about for logical reasoning. Make sure to read the line of reasoning carefully. Sometimes they ask for similarities between arguments, other times differences. Okay, so that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed that video and I will see you in the next one. Take care.